What have we been warned about? We have been warned of things that are to come, that have been prophesied about. We have. We can't say that we weren't warned. We can't say, well, we knew nothing of this. We knew nothing of this. Why can't why can't you say that we knew nothing of this when you know it's been written about, it's been talked about, it's been told how bad it's going to be getting, really, because it is getting bad. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. Good morning. It's getting bad, you all. And we've been told it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets any better. And I really do agree with it. It may not even get better in our lifetimes. It may not. So then what do you do about it? What do you do about it? Good morning, everyone. If we've been warned and it may not get any better in our lifetimes, what are we going to do about it? Well, we're going to be very alert. We're going to keep our eyes and ears open. We're going to see what's happening because it's happening all around. It's happening all around you all. I got this red hat on. This is a warning. It is. It's a warning. We've been warned. And you say, well, let's think about this. Okay, they're doing the palm scanning, the scanning of the palm. And I didn't know this. I really didn't know that when they scan your palm with this Amazon thing, they read your blood, your veins in your hand, your veins in your hand. I guess they do in your right hand. They read your veins in your hand, and who knows what they're looking for, really. You can pay with your hand, and he shall receive a mark, his right hand or his forehead. Well, what type of mark? An invisible mark? Is it an invisible tattoo? Is it a chip? Is it something much more? And we just don't realize it? Oh, that'll never happen in our lifetime. We'll be out of here. The rapture will have done gone. Gina, honey, you just going off the deep end. You went way over there, Gina, way over there. No, no, no. They got the palm readers. This is like gradual. And it is to say, that you have a unique palm. What if somebody cuts your hand off and takes your palm, but then the blood won't be flowing through it? See, the blood will not be flowing through your hand if you're thinking about taking somebody's hand and putting it on there. No, there ain't going to see no blood flow. So why isn't examining our veins really? The technology, I read that in the comment, or why are they examining our veins? And there's some comments about how when they go into work, they have to scan their thumb every time they walk into the building. And her thumb hurts now just because of scam. It's the infrared technology. Well, they say they can take the infrared technology with the facial recognition. They can see something. They can see something, you all. Well, what can they see? What can that infrared technology see? Why has it got to be called infrared? But no, we've been warned. That's the least of our problems. That's the least of our problems, our worries. Really, you can say, well, I don't got no problem, Gina. You all got the problem. You're all worried over nothing because we're not going to be here. What if you are here? What if you are here and you don't go out and the rapture is delayed? And people say, well, Gina, the rapture is not in the Bible. No, the word rapture is not in the Bible. I know what it says in the book of Matthew, chapter 24. I know what it says when he comes back. There's a series of events that have to take place before he comes back and gathers his elect. There's events that must take place, and those events are great tribulation and or a time of distress unequaled from the beginning of the world and never to be equaled again. It said, if those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. No one means no one. But for the sake of the elect, whoever the elect may be, and by the way, there's so many people on the face of this earth, so many groups of people. claim that they are the elect. Now, we can't have all these groups of people saying that they're the only ones, that they're the elect, okay? But this is what the scripture says. For the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. And then it talks about the elect in the book of Revelation. That's the apocalyptic book of what is to come. We've been warned. We have been warned about this beast. We've been warned about the beast. We've been warned about the Antichrist. We've been warned about a false prophet. We have. We've been warned that if you do not take this mark in your hand or your forehead, there's not going to be any rest day or night for anyone who worships this beast that's coming. It's a beast. Anyone who worships the beast or receives his mark. No, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. We've been warned, you all. And I hope I'm not here when that happens. And I don't want to be looking at some kind of hideous beast. I really don't. Hopefully, it wouldn't be so hideous. But the mere thought, the beast, they called it a beast, whatever it is. And I don't know. We got a beast, we got an antichrist, we got false prophets, we got all kinds of events. We got world wars happening. We got earthquakes. We got plagues. We've got meteor fireballs. We got wormwood. Look at all this stuff that's predicted to happen. Oh, Gina, honey, that's just fairy tale. Nothing's going to happen. Everything's a lot better now, Gina, honey. You just don't realize it because you're focusing on the negative. Everything is good in the world and it's getting all better. Okay. Okay. You all really, we truly have, all jokes aside, we've been warned of what is to come. And if you have not heeded those warnings yet, and you read about it in the Bible, or like even the Nostradamus things, and even Fatima, you throw in an alien invasion too. There's warnings all over. There's books that have written. There's the big, it's their game plan. Their game plan is out there. The mouthpieces of the world have spoken what's coming. They are. And you're going to get that, you're going to get the Neuralink in your head. You are. And humans aren't going to put it in your head. It's going to be in a factory. A factory. The robots are going to do it. That's what Mr. Musk said. In order to live, symbiosis, to have a symbiotic relationship with I don't know, with what? Why do we need a symbiotic relationship with something? What type of alien would it be? What type of an intelligent would it be that we need to have a chip in our head, like the Borg Queen, and it's a transceiver or transmitter, and the cell phone will be in your head. Well, I don't know how that's going to work. Really don't. So you'll have a chip in your head up here, I guess. You're going to be scanning your palm. You can scan your palm right now to pay for goods and services. And then they got the facial recognition, your unique identity. Yeah. What are they looking for, really? Why the need for all the technology? Its technology is super increased on the earth. And it keeps evolving so fast you can't keep up with it. So fast you can't keep up with it. And you know this, if you like Windows or Macs or any of this stuff, Windows Update, the new versions, they keep coming and coming and coming. And when they keep coming and coming and coming, they no longer support the old versions because you keep going. When will we reach the top? There's no end to it. There's no end to it, you all. We've been warned. We really true. One could say that we are living in the end times, that it truly is an end of the way of the life that we know, that we have known, an end to that way of life. And it's like Trey 57, get with it or get left behind. That's his phrase. Get with it or get left behind. You got to get prepared. You got to get with what's going on. You got to pay attention, you all. You really do. Um, Gina, you speak in gloom and doom. No, it's not. These things are like prophecies of events that are said to come. And they come from various literature, they come from various people throughout time itself who speak of events that are to come and what will happen. Now, granted, there's a lot of people who make prophecies and stuff that never do come to pass. They give their dates, the rapture is coming, the date pass, the rapture is coming, the date pass, the rapture is coming. They keep doing that, and then they keep changing. Well, you know what it says about false prophets. Their predictions are false. They're false. So if you have a false prophet that comes on the scene, according to the book of Revelations, it's an apocalyptic book, that false prophet is not going to tell you the truth. It's not. And you got a false prophet. You've got the Antichrist. And you got the beast. The whole world will worship the beast. Let's hope it's not Cthulhu-looking being. Let's hope it's not a Cthulhu-looking being, or I don't know, the horns on the head being, because he'd be a big giant. Let's hope it's not one of those, really, because it's terrifying. Oh, it says they're going to be terrified. You'll be seeing men's heart will fail them, they said. Men's heart will fail them during these times. So is this all just make-believe? Is any of that stuff prophesied by the various places, the various people, the various books and things throughout history? Has any of it came to pass? Are we living in some of it right now? Are we? I'd say we are. I would say that, and then you have the book of Daniel. You have the book of Daniel. You have a king of the north and a king of the south. Then you have like all these armies being gathered up on earth when certain time comes. They gather themselves for the day of Armageddon, the battle of Armageddon. I don't want to be here for the battle of Armageddon. I don't. Well, who are they going to fight? Well, guess they're going to fight with who's coming. They're going to fight with who's coming from up there in the sky, in the other realm, who's going to come through. They're going to do it. And this is kind of eerie, you all. We've been warned. They say the blood rises as high as the horse's bridle. That's pretty high. Then you have like locust things coming out with long hair, stings of scorpions, these riders and stuff. They like a third of the earth is burnt up and a third of the water is destroyed. You know, you can't drink it. It's got all this kind of stuff going on. But truly, when you look around and you look to those things and you see what was predicted to come, and you see things like, I didn't know the palm scanning was out. I really didn't. Didn't know that they're scanning it. All they need is a little chip. And there are people who got chips in their hands. They did their little study. And it's probably like that. But what if it ain't that? What if it's something else in the blood? It's all in the blood. Yeah. Gina, are you encouraging us? I'm just encouraging you to please be aware of what's happening in our world, because everything is not as it seems. Everything is not as you're being told. If it's getting better right now, I personally am not seeing it. I'm looking around and I'm seeing something totally different. It's going to get a lot worse before it does get better. We all know that. You know, they can make order out of chaos. That's what they do. Order out of chaos. And I guess you could, when your life falls apart and stuff, like say when relationships end and you're just devastated. My whole world has turned chaotic. And then Well, come to find out, it's good that that relationship end because now you got to grow and something better is coming. You become a better you. You grow on the inside. Out with the old, in with the new. You can look at it that way. You really can. You have to get rid of the old habits and stuff. You got to release some of that stuff you're holding on to in order to take hold of something else that is better for you. Really. Um, Gina, what are you saying? I'm saying that the hour is late. It's late, you all. Somebody said we got to stay prayed up. You do. You got to keep your frequency up. You got to keep that love alive. You got to keep that peace within. You got to keep that balance within. And it's very hard when you have energies, frequencies from this, wherever they're coming from. They're like mood altering. They can create sadness. They can create anger. They can create outbursts. And you don't even know why you're feeling that way. Or you may be around somebody and all of a sudden, like a switch is flipped. Flip. They were warm. They were normal 1 minute, and then you're looking around, and boom, somebody flipped a switch, and then they turn polar on you. Polar, and it's kind of scary if you're right there in that way. You all, it really is scary. You all, we've been warned of what is to come and our way of life, and people are being put out of their homes, put out of their jobs, can't afford to live in their homes, can't afford it, can't afford to buy groceries. You know, if you go on the internet, there's all these videos now of people living in their vehicles, living in their cars, living in their trucks, living in tents, and they're making the do. Like there's one woman, she living in her car on Social Security, $800 a month. And you know, she said, I couldn't afford nothing. I couldn't even afford to go out and have a burger or something with my friend. Of course, she got divorced. Her husband was not very nice to her. And she was disabled and stuff. But you know what? Here's what's happening. People are learning how to survive when they lose everything, regardless of the situation, regardless of whether you're single, married, and or you just have children, you have it a whole shebang. You've lost it all. You find yourself living in your car. How are you going to make it? They got all these videos out now how these people are making it, just living like that, like collapsible containers, collapsible bowls, anything to maximize the space, having the bare essentials, just like they don't got a big closet full of clothes or nothing like that. They don't have all this fancy stuff. I couldn't take this stuff with me. No, if I had to leave on foot, goodbye. I can't take you with you because I'm not going to make room in my car for that mirror, a TV, a cabinet, a couch. No, 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 I will not. I'll make sure I have something to sleep with, some blankets, something to eat on. I'll make sure I have what I need to survive. And it's going to be a great big scaling down. They got all kinds of videos and they have people go out, find the people, because it's like they're becoming a country of nomads, like nomads, really, all around the world, nomads, where you're free enough to be a nomad, more or less. What does that tell you about a country? What does it tell you about a society? Can you rely on the material world? Can you rely on your job? Can you rely on a system that has constantly let you down? You can't beat the system. In fact, the system is against you. You're punished. You're punished. So you become like a nomad. You live out your car, and it's hard. A lot of people are doing it. And if you have to do it one day, I promise you that you will have the strength that you need to do it. I got to take this off. You'll have the strength that you need to do it because there's plenty of examples out there, people who are doing it. And they're okay. They have found that place within and they're happy. They truly are happy. They've thrown it all away and think, I don't have nothing to worry about now. I'm kind of free. I'm free. There's nothing hanging over my head. So you all, you can do it. You can. I know it's difficult and nobody wants to be put in that situation. They don't. But why are there so many YouTube videos like that? Really, I'm having a hot flash. Why are there so many YouTube videos like that showing people living like that? Really, ask yourself why. It's a picture of America. It's a picture of America. The United States of America. That's really what it's a picture of. And like in Australia, I'm sure there's other countries, you all. It's happening everywhere, everywhere. And the warning signs are all around when you see an increase in people living in their vehicles because they can't afford to live in their homes. And it's mostly older people too, my age, your age. Sometimes it's younger people, but it's the older population that I'm seeing that are having to do this. The older population. That's a wake-up call. It really is. You work your whole life in order to, when you get retirement age, to have a place to call your own in order to survive, but then you're finding out I can't even survive. I can't afford. There's not enough low-income housing either. There's not. You can't even get on it. Like when I grew up, there were waiting lists when my mother was looking for one for 5 children and a husband. There's waiting lists at the projects. They are, and they were good projects back then where we were at. We had the good projects, the housing authority. But nowadays, no, there's a waiting list. There is an enormous waiting list. There's not enough housing for all the people, you all. Just face it, there's not. And you will see, and I know you're seeing apartment buildings going up all over the United States. They're popping up everywhere. You may say, well, they're 15-minute cities. Well, that may be, but they're popping up everywhere. Who's going to be in those? Is it going to be people who are already out of their houses? The older people? Is it going to be the older people? Is it going to be the younger people? Is it going to be immigrants? What's it going to be, really? How are we going to make it? How are we going to make it? Have you thought about that? I'm finding myself thinking, I'm not going to put it out of my mind that's saying that won't be me one day. I'm not. I may very well have to leave with only the clothes on my back. Yeah, but where would I go? Where would I go? Where would there be a place for me to go? Where would there be a place for you to go? You all really think about it. Some people have literally, during the last few years, they didn't work their job no more. They were let go. They were let go. They decided, they made the best decision for themselves. They said, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm not going to sacrifice who I am on the inside so I can keep this job. I'm not going to do it. Are you going to sacrifice who you are on the inside in order to hold on to what you have when it comes down to it? Because listen, you got to live with that person on the inside. I got to live with this person on the inside too. Will I go against my morals when my conscience is convicting me every single day of my life? No, I would not be able to live with myself. There's no way I could even run away from myself. I couldn't. We've been warned. The warning signs are all around. There's yellow caution lights in some places. There's red lights in some places. There's green lights, like stop lights. And this is not gloom and doom. This is reality. We got people living in their cars, older people. The one woman I saw last night, she was just 62. Living in her car, everything she needed stuffed under the seats. She bought a screen tent. She went to a place where there were other vehicles and other like campers. Big open area, set her little screen tent room up. It might do you some good to have something like that on hand in case you find yourself in that situation. I was sitting there thinking myself, I don't got a screen tent. I know I have like maybe a 2-room tent from years and years ago, but if I had to go in my car, I would like to have something outside my car if I could, because I wouldn't want to be confined to my car. I'd want to have a tent or something. I would. A tent and something to survive. And I know I wouldn't be the only one. You wouldn't be the only one. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. The world is crumbling. The foundation of this world is crumbling beneath our feet. Lives are crumbling. It's like we're being shook up. Shook up. You're finding out what you're made of. You are. And I'm finding out what I'm made of. And I still got a lot to learn about what I'm made of, and I'm sure you do too. I don't want to have to scan my hand in order to go into some place. I don't. And if I don't scan my hand, if I don't have whatever in my hand, or if I don't have whatever in my forehead, I know I'm not going to get to go into these places. But that will be my choice. That'll be my choice. And I'll have to live with the choices that I make for when I do make that choice. No, I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have your mark in me. I don't. And I'll make do. I'll be taken care of. That's when you got to really start walking by faith. It's where you really got to realize who you belong to, and do you have the faith in God to protect you and to keep you. He did with the Israelites. He did. They were led out of Egypt, a cloud by day and a fire by night. They were grumbling. They didn't have nothing to drink. And then Moses struck the rock, and the water came out of the rock. They didn't have nothing to eat. They were grumbling. He caused manna to fall from heaven. Yeah, he took care of them. But because there were so many grumblers and whatever, they wandered around for 40 years until that generation died off. Yeah. Do we have the faith and strength on the inside to go forward and keep walking? Do we? Not knowing what the future holds, but knowing who holds our future. We don't know what our future may be. We don't. But you may find yourself in the situation where you don't know what your future is right now, and it looks pretty bleak. Looks pretty bleak. Just like that. You could have like a force of nature come. Your home is gone. Tornadoes, hurricanes, fires, earthquakes, it's all gone. You got nothing left. If you're lucky, you got the clothes on your back. You got like a bug out bag, a suitcase, you able to salvage something. But then you end up in tent cities. They got tents prepared. They got tents prepared for people, you all. Should you not have a tent? Just in case? Should you? In case you have to go, if you can go. What happens if they shut the roads? Because these are national highways. Eisenhower, what did he do? They can shut the highways down. They can. Then what happens if we have an outside force coming against the country? There's all these scenarios, but the thing is we've got to look around and see this is not normal. We've been warned of what is to come, really. And you've got to get ready. You've got to strengthen yourself on the inside. You've got to strengthen yourself for what is here and what else will happen. It's an unpredictable future. We've got to have strength. We've got to pray. You've got to think positive thoughts. You've got to meditate. You can do some meditation. Close your eyes and just sit there. You can do it. I promise you, you can do it, and you'll benefit from it if you can tune out the world. We got to stay strong. We got to stay together in spirit. We do. We got to encourage each other. Never, ever, ever give up, despite what comes our way, and not let that darkness, don't let that negative energy come in and steal our joy. from within, steal our peace, shake us up to the core. Well, some of us need shaken up to the core to get the attention. Really, you do. You need shook to the core saying, what is wrong with you? Wake up. Sometimes some people have to fall flat on their face because you've been telling them over and over and over. They've been seeing, even though they know it, they put it out of their mind. Sometimes they need to fall flat on their face before they even wake up and look around. Oh, there is a time. If you're meant to wake up, oh, that time is already set. You will wake up at that time. You may not even be awake right now realizing what's going on, but the day will come when you will wake up and you'll see. So I'm going to go, you all. The warning signs are all around. We have been warned of what is here. And it's some pretty scary things, and some, like you've listened to Nostradamus or the apocalyptic books and the movies. The movies are far worse. I hope that they are. I hope we don't see what's in those movies. I really hope we don't, because there's demons, there's everything in there, and they do exist. We don't want to live in a world like that. Be in the world, not of the world, right? Okay, so I'm going to go, you all. So keep your light shining on the inside of you. Some of you might need Jesus on the inside of you, because I don't know. I don't even know who Jesus is. Well, he's love. He's peace. I've got Jesus on the inside of me. I've got love on the inside of me. I got God on the inside of me. That's the only way I would have made it this far in life, because I've had many, many, many times that if I didn't have it on the inside, I'd no. But it was never meant. It was meant for me to continue, and here I am now. All these years later, you've got to have the love. What it boils down to is love. Love for one another. Love for one another, you all. We've got to have that love, or we're not going to make it. Love is what holds us together. It is. So I'm going to go. I've done said enough. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I mean it, from my heart to your heart, because the love inside of my heart is saying hello to that love inside of your heart. It's connected. Love you.